So I'm pretty screwed right now. I have an essay due on Friday. I've finished the first draft and I sent a couple questions off to my tutor, and I got a response saying that the concept was amazing, my thesis statement was pretty good, the concept that I was going to write on sound was pretty good, but we're actually meant to be writing about editing and sound, and turns out I was writing mainly on cinematography and sound. And this is due on Friday, so I'm going to have to get right into it. And I've got a tutorial today and a lecture today, so I'm going to have to write in between those. For this essay in particular, I'm writing about the film Some Like It Hot, and that's the film which features Marilyn Monroe in it. My thesis statement is something along the lines of: the editing and sound in the film Some Like It Hot highlights the theme of the role of women and femininity in the 1920s. Let's get into it. Here we are, COVID update for today.
Earnings and no hours worked. Most of those people were in either the
Minister in Wellington. Now let's cross live to Wellington.
Good afternoon, everybody. Today I'll provide you a bit more information on the membership in terms of reference for the group that will be providing oversight of the government's updated testing plan.
So today there are a total of 5 new confirmed cases of COVID-19 to report. 2 of those are imported cases, and they are were detected in our managed isolation facilities. There are 3 new community cases.
Good afternoon, dear film scholars. So this week we're talking about A Girl Walks Home Alone at Night, and I'm quite excited about it. I put on my best stripy shirt to be topical. And what this means actually is that firstly, we're going to move on from editing a bit, and we're going to start to think about cinematography in a little bit more detail. And we're also going to explore one of the most iconic figures of cinematic history, and that is the vampire.
This is how I am doing the rewrites of certain paragraphs. So I highlight the paragraph that needs to be rewritten, and then I write it directly underneath it. It's literally only half of this paragraph that needs to be worked on, and I need to be sure that I'm not writing it's about Josephine, it's actually about Daphne. For some reason I thought I got Daphne and Josephine confused, when it's clearly that Osgood is fascinated with Daphne. Okay, so it turns out that I repeated some stuff from the first paragraph in this paragraph. So I have completely removed the end of this paragraph, pretty much because it was explained in this paragraph, and no repeating, and just have each section as a flow. Flow is amazing, and that's what's separating the grades of the B's and the A's apparently. Although I don't know whether or not this is good enough for an A or even a B, let's get real here. I don't have a lot of academic confidence. This is insanely difficult, having to limit this essay to about 500 words. It's difficult, you gotta learn to manage. But yeah, because it's so little, I cut every little sentence down, and it is just so insanely difficult. I feel as if that I'm not explaining enough, and I just feel as if I'm not necessarily making it clear enough with what I'm doing. By the way, this is classified as an essay crisis for me, because normally by now I'd just be proofreading it, making final edits and everything, final touch-ups. But it's not necessarily going that well for me. Maybe I need to watch another one of those analyses from the tutors. because they actually like talk about like editing and sound. Maybe I should actually do that. Like, I love this film and I love my thesis statement. Like, I know that sounds really weird and cocky, but I genuinely like this thesis statement. You know, I'm writing about how film is portraying women and feminine, well, how the film Some Like It Hot is portraying women and femininity in the 1920s, which is quite fascinating. But there's not enough words! Like, if I could write, like, a 1,500 word essay on this, like, I would not be struggling as much. I might just text a friend of mine who is doing this assignment as well, just to see, like, hey, are you feeling as if you're not really writing enough in part 2? Because I feel like I'm not doing enough. How many words have I got in this 500 word essay? 514, so I am within the 10% range, but it just doesn't seem good enough. Maybe I should just read the email again. I'm going to read the email again to clarify everything. Where is she? Here she is. That sounds like a good plan. Make sure I'm conscious between the difference of cinematography and editing. The lecture that I had today, which was for Media 101, the lecturer did say that it is quite common that people do get confused, and it's quite easy to get confused between cinematography and editing. It sounds like you've got a really interesting perspective on power dynamics in the scene and how sound communicate. Okay, so the fact that I'm writing a lot about sound is not a bad thing. It's not like she's saying even it out. But then is she allowed to say that I'm evening it out? That I have to even it out? I don't know. This is the worst thing about uni, by the way, guys, is the fact that your tutors can't actually read drafts of your essay. Well, at least for communication they're not allowed to. But you can, like, say, in this paragraph, I want to talk about this, in this paragraph, I want to talk about that. So you can't really go into too much depth. Oh, it's so scary. This is just, like, a uni student issue, you know? Like, you want to feel confident in your essays, but when you've got such a small word count, you're not really able to submit essays you're proud of. Such a good film, by the way, Some Like It Hot. If you want to watch a nice, old 50s movie with Marilyn Monroe, Some Like It Hot is really, really good. I hadn't seen it until this, and I've always wanted to watch a Marilyn Monroe film, but I finally watched it, and it was genuinely really nice, and I loved the gender. This is the gender studies student coming through, but I just loved the gender and the power relations in Some Like It Hot. But yeah, maybe I should stop procrastinating by talking to the camera and talking to you guys. Maybe I should proofread again and text that friend of mine who's in the course. We've known each other since intermediate. And he's a great guy. He's a lovely guy. Hello. Today has just not been a great day. Like, I slept in today, which is really, really bad. But then I got up, I watched some lectures, done final touches up to the essay. I actually had a massive, like, anxiety session not too long ago, due to, like, all of these assignments, and I feel like I'm not good enough. I really just feel like I'm not good enough to be a student at the university. I think it's ridiculous that I actually finished my communication essay before this one, when this is due a week before. But oh well. I hate this. I hate the pressure. Uni would be amazing, and I wouldn't mind doing, like, the analysis projects and the essays. The quizzes, no way, but those other assignments, I would be okay with doing it if it just wasn't so stressful and time pressuring, you know? Well, not time pressure, just the pressure to succeed. I just don't like it. It gets to me. Because I want to do so well in this essay, I focus so much on this essay, on every little word, and whether or not it's actually good enough, like, I'm nervous. It is submission day today. I did just go through the essay with my dad, and so now that he'd read through it, I'm just going to do a complete reread through. We've actually cut down the word count. So it was at 824 words, and thanks to his little proofreading and everything, 819. So let's just proofread one more time and just get this ready. Ooh, I'm suddenly feeling dizzy, holy moly. Ooh, I felt that. Wow, ooh. Okay, I did it. Let's just calculate the word count again. 821 words now. Brilliant. Haven't cut it down too much, but hey. It is still within the 10%. How much is 10% actually? Okay, so I've got plenty of room. Submission complete. There we are. So thank you very much for watching this video. I do not recommend you doing this with your essays. Make sure you get your approval before 2 weeks before the due date, because you never know how long it takes to get a response. But also it is like a, you know, do your essays before the due date, because you never know what might happen with what you want to write about. Whew. So thank you very much for watching this video. Leave a like if you enjoyed it, comment something down below, subscribe if you haven't, and I hope to see you in another video.